Cherokee is not a head language, it's a heart language. And so when we start to try to transfer that, it needs to be from heart to heart. I've heard a lot of people say, well, you transfer language from mouth to ear, not from recordings, this and that. I understand what they're saying, but I'd like to differ just a little bit. It's from heart to heart. And if we know what they're feeling and how they see the world, then we don't want to just learn words that we're storing it in our mind in an English equivalent. We want to know the true meanings of them words. And in order to do that, we have to spend the time with them. Our goal is by the end of the decade that has been recognized by the UN as the Decade of Indigenous Languages, that the Cherokee Nation builds more speakers than we lose per year.
Yesterday, the Council of the Cherokee Nation unanimously passed legislation that I work with them on. That was the Durbin Feeling Language Preservation Act. It takes all of the language programs of the Cherokee Nation, from our immersion school to our master apprentice program, to our program that bridges those two, to our translation departments, and to programs that are still on the drawing board but will be brought to fruition in the coming years. It houses them all in the old Cherokee Nation Casino. That is a wonderful building that will change the face of the Cherokee language preservation.
There was a time the world had 10,000 languages, and we're down to 6,500 now. Each language has a different philosophy, so we're in a process as the world of shedding our own internal worlds, and so they say now up to 2 languages dies a week. That's what some studies are showing. I remember when they were saying 1 every 2 weeks. When European contact happened, we had 350 languages here, and now we're down to 115. If something doesn't drastically happen in the next 20 years, there's 79 of them that can slip through our fingers. Studies are showing that by 2060, 80% of the Earth's population will only speak 28 different languages. And so that's scary to us at Cherokee Nation. And we don't want to be a part of that number.
The ultimate goal of Cherokee language revitalization is to create new speakers, because for the last 40 years or so, most language efforts across the board, regardless of what tribe it is, have been more just exposure to language and basic concepts, just like, saying cat, dog, colors, numbers, and it doesn't teach people how to express their own thoughts and things. And so having media content in the language really does expose people to seeing, that language in context and seeing new ideas and things portrayed. All right. So the idea is, if you can create media content, whether that's films, TV shows, cartoons, video games, or whatever, the more people have exposure to it, they would just absorb that language. When you're teaching language, there's this split between classroom, teaching versus, just being out in the community or just being immersed in it and through a natural process.
My name is Austin Parker. I'm a Cherokee citizen, and I'm the video production manager here at the Cherokee Nation soundstage in Owasso. If there's one thing that really sets us apart as people, it's a language. So far, we've produced a number of pieces for Cherokee Nation. One of the ones that has really gotten a great reception is when we created Sequoyah using motion capture technology. And when I say create, I mean we created an artistic representation of the historical figure.
Sequoyah,
This was in celebration for the 200th, the bicentennial, if you will, anniversary of the creation of the syllabary. We were able to take a Cherokee native speaker, put them in a motion capture suit, put them in facial tracking, have them deliver a script and use all of that data to create a completely digital Sequoyah character. It takes the figure that is just on the page in history books and it brings them back to life, and especially in today's age, this is so much more interesting and immersive, and it grabs the attention, especially of the young generation.
So we were the first Native American tribe represented on any cellular device. Our immersion students started texting the elders because they also had iPhones, and it was no longer a problem because the elders got it. To get to the young children, we had to give them something that they were familiar with, not something that an elder would be comfortable with.
Items like a cartoon series have more of that impact in terms of being a natural, immersive process of learning language. You might not understand everything initially when you first watch it, but seeing the context clues on screen, you can follow the story, you hear the language, you start putting it together. And as the children will say, they'll watch a cartoon over and over and over and over. So you having this kind of content in the Cherokee language gives people this content that they can use in that manner. And then on top of that, they can also expand it for, schools can create curriculum with it. And they can, besides just being entertainment, it can be educational too. So we have created a full Cherokee language video game based on the Inagei characters. That's going to be released through the Apple Store and the Android Store. It's a full 3D animated, control the character, run around, and it's immersive. And then, I got to work with the OCO TV team to develop the new character, Sinas. That's the motion capture animated character that does the Cherokee language lessons. And so it's been really fun to just kind of, my initial background was just in drawing and painting. So seeing, the sketch and giving it to this team and they bring it to life has been really amazing. And it's been even more fun to see it being done in Cherokee.
I think it's important for other tribes to remember that the XR technology isn't just about preservation, it's about revitalization. This isn't just an archival technology that will take your language and put it on a hard drive to live forever. This is a technology that takes your language, it takes your stories, it takes your culture, and it makes it endearing to your citizens. It makes it immersive to your citizens. It's something that I promise you will have a great response to. 50 years from now, when Cherokee youth are reading about our elders, our national treasures who may no longer be with us, we will have the opportunity to be able to create digital characters of these well-known Cherokee citizens and have them in their own words, in their own voice, with their own motions well after they're gone, teach our students, whether that be about language, whether that be about basket weaving, whether that be the old stories.
We believe that as long as we have our language, there will always be a people. And we will think like Cherokees. And our Creator put us here with original design purpose, and that's what we want to keep. We don't want to borrow somebody else's purpose. We have a purpose here. And how to keep that is through our language. One of the most precious treasures that the Cherokees have ever had was their language. And the Cherokee Nation is refusing to lose that. That's a treasure that was given to us by our Creator. And we're going to do everything possible to save it. And that's what we're doing now.
Way